Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Thanks for joining us on a Wandering Wednesday show. Today's show is brought to you by our buddy Nick Merkley and Southern Indiana Hardwoods, that fine purveyor of those Green Mountain pellet grills.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's our friends over at Southern Indiana Hardwoods and their Green Mountain Grills. Now, I'm going to do a little digital editing magic and show you this monster sale the folks got going on right now at Southern Indiana Hardwoods. You can get a Peak Prime or a Daniel Boone Choice for a very good price, almost too good of a price. I'm almost worried old Nick is giving away the farm here. Call Nick at Southern Indiana Hardwoods today and check out all the models he's got ready for you. Grilling and smoking season is still in full force and effect. Look like a pro by Labor Day using one of these awesome Green Mountain grills with their even better pellets. Also, if you wanted an inside shot at creating some great barbecue for a certain backyard barbecue competition, well, maybe you ought to try your luck with a Green Mountain grill and win it all.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast, where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman! Yeah! The Wandering Dutchman! Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge, featuring our buddy with the mustache Big Mace and the rose-colored glasses and Smoke Dragon. I'm Esquire, and it's time for the greatest podcast out of Du Bois County, Indiana, out of Southwest Indiana, out of Southern Indiana, and by God, out of the state of Indiana. It's time for a Wandering Wednesday show. I already introduced him. Had a little bit of a, I don't know what happened there, Smoke Dragon. But sitting across from me with the mustache and almost the mock turtleneck t-shirt look, it's our buddy, 13-time employee of the month for the city of Huntingburg, Big Mace.
Hi.
Sitting there in the middle. No, you don't have to check your vision. Yes, he chopped off that beautiful mane of his, wearing the rose-colored glasses and the turquoise turtle. And if you cross him once and cross him twice, you're going to meet those turquoise rings on his knuckles. It's our buddy, Smoker! And I'm Esquire. Welcome. Here we are for the celebration ice cold opener. Big fella, a lot of energy, a lot of ad-lib there on that. What you say for the ice cold opener, big guy?
Wide open, baby. Wide open. I don't really have one. Kind of flat this week. Kind of flat last few days. Hopefully this pick me up. This will be a pick me up. It'll get me out of my funk. Just kind of a shit week in many facets. But other than that, I'm ready to spark this candle and see where the conversation takes us.
Smoke Dragon, what say you?
Been a weird week. Work, is regular, but then halfway through, the kids start going to school. So I think maybe 2 or 3 times a day, I thought about texting the kids to be sure they were up and getting their chores done and not just sleeping all day,
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they're back to school already.
They're learning.
Well, you could still text them to see if they got their chores done before they headed to school.
Before, but not while they're in there. Phones are outlawed this year.
Yeah, that's true. I did see that. Some kind of phone policy there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got nothing, fellas. Been a good week. Got to play a little golf up there at the Pete Dye on Tuesday for the Golf Gives Back Media Day, the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, coming to the Pete Dye course at French Lick Resort.
Awesome.
So I was fortunate enough to be able to play in that. Didn't play bad, didn't play great. Had a great day overall, though, and that's all that matters. Work's been good. Played league last night. I was the sole winner of my point, which is scary, but I had a lot of 3 putts, Dave. I gotta get my putting figured out because I
need to play. I haven't played.
Start scoring a little bit.
I haven't played in ages.
I've been, and then I got when this airs, I'll be headed up to just south of Patoka Lake for a little golf weekend there. The Pelican Bar Open.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Well, this
Coming weekend. Yeah.
when you listen to this, yes.
Yeah.
In present time, we've got about 10 days.
Right.
A week. A week. That's it. It is a week.
7, yeah.
So there we go. That's the ice cold opener brought to you by our friends at Celebration Ice. And Dave, what do we like to say about Celebration Ice?
It's cold.
It's cold.
Celebration Ice. The ice with attitude. If you're going to be spending your Friday nights tailgating high school football, you need to make sure you keep things nice and cold. Enter Celebration Ice. You don't want to show up to the tailgate with subpar ice from some other garbage ice company that claims to be the best. We only use Celebration Ice here in the lounge for a reason. Crystal clear and super cold. The only way we'll have it. Make sure your next bag of ice says Celebration on it.
Nice.
All right, fellas, here we go. It's a Wandering Wednesday. I look to you, Steve Jobs lookalike.
I'm catching a lot of shit from this T-shirt, guys. It's just a T-shirt.
I like it.
I bought it off the internet.
Looks good on
Oh, is it TikTok store?
Yeah.
Oh, that
for
was
sure.
a mistake.
Yeah. Why?
It's just, it looks like a mock turtleneck on your, like, it does a little bit. Like, it's a little
Which
high
one's
up
a
there.
mock turtleneck?
It's not the full turtleneck where you got to turn it down a little bit.
The Macaulay
Turn it
Culkin
down for
type.
what?
Justine told me the same thing. She's like, "Oh, look at you and your mock tee."
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know she was giving you shit about it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have done it too.
Oh, that's
Nobody should have to listen to it here.
That's okay. It's all right. So for my Wondering Wednesday topic this week, I want to talk about cooking. Just in general, I've been doing a lot of cooking lately.
Yeah.
and I mean, I do all the cooking at home, really.
Sure.
And I was just, just tie it into our barbecue competition and just
Yeah.
cooking in general. I've been thinking a lot about cooking lately, and I really wanted to talk about recipes. Have we talked about recipes before? A little bit, like
I mean, we've talked chili recipes.
right, yeah, and then whatever soup season.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That big
Can't wait for soup season.
flop of a segment that we worked on. But what are some staple recipes that are in your household, or like that you've grown up to love, that you've tried to recreate, or that you try to recreate, but like they're not on the money, but like what are some things that you love every time you make it, or like the kids are like, yes, every time you make it, you know what I mean? Like just stuff that that's just like permanent staples on your menu. Go ahead.
My boys seem to like when I make the biscuits and gravy. Not that there's anything to it, but that and meatloaf is about the only two things I make that have any sort of a recipe in anymore. I just kind of wing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and you got those down pat where you don't even.
Last time I made the meatloaf was the first time I just did it, Kentucky windage. Didn't
Really?
measure
So
anything,
the B's and G's, is that like the canned gravy?
No.
Oh my gosh! What do you?
Well, I mean, that's what we that's what we ate when we went on vacation. I know
Yeah. We brought a giant can of gravy.
Mrs. Smoke is a big fan of the canned gravy. You know what I mean? I just didn't know if
I think I used too much flour in mine. I think it
Yeah.
upsets her stomach a little bit.
you think
So
so.
she appreciates the cans. But the boys, they're all in.
Yeah.
Wait, so gravy, white gravy, like milk gravy comes in a can?
Yeah, with sausage.
And it
already in
wasn't bad.
And it's actually really good. Yeah. Comes from Sam's.
Costco, one of the two.
One of the two
Oh,
box
dear-
stores.
dear
Yeah.
God,
It's like
there's
a
no
3
way.
gallon
I guarantee you that 95% of the breakfast joints that you eat at besides your house, the
Oh,
gravy
yeah,
comes from a
Yeah,
can.
I don't disagree with
Comes
that.
from a
But
can.
what I'm saying is like I would never do that in my household. My mother would strike me down as soon as I stepped foot outside, because that woman taught me how to make gravy.
Well, yeah. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
But what is that in the can? I mean, that's got to have flour in it, because you got to have an
Yeah,
equal.
but
No,
I
it's
think there's-
just jelly, lots of jelly, and then when you get it hot, it becomes not.
Yeah, there's something that makes it. I think it's more cornstarch than it is flour. I think they use cornstarch for stiffeners
Oh,
in a pre-made jelly gravy.
Well, I mean, this gravy, when you open that can,
So do you mix anything with it?
Absolutely not. You go straight into the crock pot or straight into the pot.
Because like I've seen them where they have like the powdered mix.
Yeah. Sawmill.
Yeah.
The old sawmill packages.
Whatever it would be. Yeah, I don't know. But so biscuits and gravy. Now, what kind of biscuits have you ever made your own biscuits?
Only from like Bisquick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never rolled any out. We get those frozen ones that are Pillsbury,
Those
the big bag of them, and I like them after a few days.
What about the cans of Grands?
We typically do something of that nature.
Yeah.
But when we camp now and do B's and G's, Jenna found at Sam's Club or one of them like a big 40-up. Kind of looks like the biscuits from KFC is what it sort of looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're already there. You just pop
such a
them for
sheet
like
of 'em.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
Yep, that's exactly it. So we take those camping just because they're easy to warm up.
You going camping again?
Labor Day weekend.
You got a camper? Or you
Taking a tent.
taking a tent?
Primitive campsite, so we won't have a fan or anything.
You know what they say about camping?
What's that?
It's intense.
Now you say it's primitive. That means no electricity.
No electricity. Jenna doesn't know yet that there's only pit houses over there. There's not actually.
Surprise, honey!
Ta-da! She's been over there, so she may know.
Where you going to?
Patoka. We're going to rent a pontoon boat on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, last
nice.
year, it's just, I don't think the fisherman's camp is normally very busy, but for Labor Day weekend, it may sell out.
For sure.
So then the kids get a little bit anxious, I think, just riding their bike in circles for 3 days. We're like, we'll go get a boat.
Yeah, that's cool.
One last boat ride for the weekend here.
They we need to look. I mean, the kids are just so young. Like we'd have to tie them down to the tree. You know what I mean? They'd be running everywhere. That'd be tough to keep them kind of.
You'd have to go on lots of walks.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be much lawn chair time for Casey.
No.
Camping with youngsters like that.
That'd be tough.
When we go, I don't know. We may squat at Lincoln again with that.
We got offered a position or a spot to squat. This week, and I was like, man, and it was a day that I got the reservation
from one of our squad. Mm-hmm. Well, you should have cancel it.
That's the same thing he said, but I got a boat I can't cancel.
Oh, it's at Lincoln, and then are they going to Lincoln too again? Yeah. Was it Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah. He called me and asked me if we were going, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
last year it was just like
you guys
whim thing, right?
You guys happen to be there. No, this has been like the third year.
Well,
we've
you guys
squatted.
didn't plan on camping that weekend. I thought.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Like we know it's there, and it's like if it works, we just go.
I got you.
What about recipes for you? What do you got?
Well, there's something cool when my grandma Lindemann, old Marcella, she had an old cookbook that went I don't want it to sound bad, but it went MIA for a while. Wasn't certain where it was at,
right?
And then it's been rediscovered. And I want to get through it. It's
where was it?
It was at my aunt's house.
Oh, okay.
So when they were cleaning it out after she passed, and cousin Jennifer moved over there to house over there in Hunter's Crossing. But it's kind of one of those things where I want to go through that old cookbook and see, because I know like my dad has said that there's recipes from there that he remembers. Just kind of go through, but he remembers the cookbook as a child, which is cool, because I don't think, like, would your boys say like, oh, hey, Dad, you got the old family cookbook right next to the family Bible kind of thing. And so I want to go through that. But a cool thing that my wife she probably planned it when they did the wedding shower was write down your favorite recipes. And cool. It's cool because my mom, which you look back on these things and like how, like you wouldn't think at the time, like it's just mom writing down a recipe, but in her handwriting, there's her famous apple pie recipe. And I made it 4th of July, get 6 to 8 Granny Smith apples, get them sliced up. You got a little bit of a powder mix that you kind of mix them with and throw some butter and put them baby in a pie. And then lasagna. That's a non-ricotta cheese lasagna, because Pop Frank is not he don't mess around with ricotta cheese. Not his cup of tea. So it's straight Mott's.
I always grew up eating cottage cheese in lasagna.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of noodles, Mom used Grand's crescent rolls. Like didn't obviously didn't roll them up, just flattened them out. Yeah.
Yeah, because they stay light and airy. So kind of a different kind of lasagna.
Yeah, we didn't mess around with none of that noodle shit.
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
Mom
just
used to.
biscuits
She'd
and
make
meat.
them noodles. She'd do all that. And then there's like some recipes from growing up that aren't written down anywhere that have been tough to recreate since she passed. So like my advice to some of you young kids out there, if your parents are out there, or your mom or your grandma's out there cooking at Thanksgiving or Christmas, and you enjoy whatever side they're making,
Pay attention.
you need to get out there and learn, because we have tinkered with the old stuffing recipe at Thanksgiving, trying to find out what's right. Some different things like that. But, she just would. She was a good cook with a lot of that stuff, and she had memorized a lot of it. So there's some old school cookbooks up there at Dad's house that, she used. But, I think back to it, like, she taught us all how to make biscuits and gravy. The lasagna recipe, just some other different things, chicken and dumplings, with those, I can remember as a kid, the old chicken boiling what seemed like all day.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
shredding that son of a bitch, and then doing like Reams noodles, like Ream, not making homemade dumplings, but those Reams dumplings, and and then she did a chicken noodle soup that was with the Reams noodle, like you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the dumpling noodle that's a little bit bigger and square, and then it has like Reams has a noodle variety. The chili recipe for the porch party, that comes from her. Kind of passed it along how to make that. But, she made a great hash brown casserole. She was a good cook, and you picked up a lot of that from watching and different things. But that's a rambling way of answering your question,
This
and I
fly
apologize.
is about to make me jump off a bridge.
It was getting me last week.
Just make sure the water's deep.
And cold. I need to tell you about my $1 million spaghetti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've had it, I
Oh,
think. Yeah.
down there in the swamp.
Yeah. Did you have? I don't know if you've ever had it yet.
Uh-uh.
I made it tonight, and that's what made me think of this topic.
Okay.
Because like the girls and I. So let's just say.
Before you go into it,
Okay.
do any of your kids watch you cook? Like trying to pick up on some of it?
Wyatt has started cooking a lot, so if it's something he's interested in, he'll
do it.
My girls will hang out with me depending on what I'm making, and they really want to help, but I won't let them. Just because I want to get it done and get it over with. So hopefully they do pay attention, but sometimes. So today, get off 3:30, go home. The kids have been getting off the bus like really late, like 4:15.
Zoe said that too. She's
Yeah.
like, we've been super,
Yeah.
and like in the 6-year-old, like
Yeah.
like
And like the soup, and like they're taking the Shirley boy home. Ours are the last off the bus for some reason, because she goes straight back to the school to park her bus after she gets done with our kids. Well, Eleanor gets off the bus, Max gets off the bus, Evelyn's at cross country practice. We leave at 4:30 to go back to Huntingburg to pick up Evelyn. Then at 5 we have soccer. Then at 6 we have football. And then at 7:30 football's over. And then I'm home after that. So I'm asking the girls, what do you want for supper tonight? And they're like, I don't know. Evelyn's just dying of starvation. You know what I mean? Every day. Like she's never been fed, never been eaten. Yeah, just gonna die, literally, because if she doesn't eat, like immediately. So she said, obviously, first thing she says is McDonald's. No. Loses her shit. What about Dairy Queen? No. Loses her shit. And I said, we will not be eating out. Like, we're going to go home and cook something. And then I said, she's like, well, what are we going to, oh my God, that's going to take forever. What are we going to make? And I said, well, what do you want me to make? And I said, whatever you want. And then she said, blah, 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 blah. I'm hungry right now. I want to eat a bag of Takis. So she did. And I told her I was going to make $1 million spaghetti. So with that being said, that's something that like every time I bring it up, the kids are just like going batshit crazy because they really, really like that one. I'd say the other one would be like hibachi.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I fire up the Blackstone.
No, I don't have a recipe for that though. So I feel like I do okay with hibachi, trying to get it going, but I don't have a recipe I follow. It's just kind of a eyeballing it.
So when I do hibachi, I don't. So I usually just get the chicken and I marinate it in soy sauce with garlic and sesame seed oil and get that going. You know, because I'm just
So like when you do
I'm
hibachi,
fancy like that.
like I guess we don't do the hibachi thing. I don't know. I mean, I would like it, I guess, but
It just makes a lot. It's pretty cheap.
It's a shit ton of food for not very much
Yeah.
money, and it'll keep forever. I don't ever dick with day old. I don't ever make fried rice. Like I don't ever dick with that. We just make a whole ass rice cooker full, like a big pot full.
Yeah, you do have a rice cooker, don't you?
And then I just do the chicken, the veggies, mushrooms, all that shit out on the Blackstone. When it's done, bring it in, and then just eat it with regular, like fresh white rice.
Yeah, we take cooked rice, throw it on the Blackstone, some soy sauce, putting about 3 or 4 eggs in there with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Keep it all going. Then I'll
You can
mix
get
it
a
up.
bag of like the peas, carrots, and
We
corn.
do that too.
Throw that. My brother makes a badass fried rice with actual day old rice. So when you put
With day old rice.
100%, yeah, you can't make fried rice with rice that literally is just made. It'll turn into one big old clump of shit.
No.
You
Every
do-
time I fry the rice, it's straight off the stove.
Really.
Well, I mean, it sits in the pan for a while, like doing
Any
its thing.
recipe that you ever look up on the internet for fried rice, it'll always say day old rice,
Well, I'm going to put a recipe on there that don't say day old.
which I don't know. I mean,
Dave's today
because
rice.
it's clumpy. You know what I
Dave's
mean?
today
Like
rice.
it'll get clumpy if you don't.
So you still got to boil it and then throw it on. And,
100%.
And where you're saying is I don't want to mess with that, so we just make fresh rice.
And then we don't fry it. We just take the vegetables, eat it over top of the fresh rice with
Oh, I'm sure it's healthier without the eggs.
yum yum.
Well, no, you get your little extra protein there, Dave.
Well, there goes it all goes out the window with when you put the yum yum on.
Well, I put the yum yum on it too, though. So.
Well, sure.
Is it
So,
yum yum? Is it mayonnaise based?
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
like mayonnaise and
nectar of the gods based is what it is.
Where do you get your yum yum from?
More for less?
I bet you do.
Yeah, in a bottle.
I don't know where Jen gets it. Probably
I get the
Sam's
spicy
Club
red label spicy.
I don't think we got anything like that.
Good shit. So I take chicken thighs, real big. I don't usually
You're a big chicken thigh guy.
usually don't dick around with the breast meat because they're number one, they're expensive.
You're an ass man.
I'm an ass man. Well, thighs be like a leg guy, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But
I heard they lead to the ass.
yeah, that's the step
Just
before
follow it up
Yeah,
there.
it's right before you get to the ass. Yeah, but I take the chicken thighs that are not connected to the ass, and then I don't usually cut them up. Like I just marinate the whole ass thigh with the sesame
then
oil.
you cut 'em
And then
up.
once I get them on the grill and they start, to getting to where
Now
they're.
you just said you don't want to around with rice, but you're doing all that.
What do you mean?
For your chicken.
Well, still.
Yeah, I would be.
feel like
I'd just buy breast meat, throw them in there.
And then what?
Still,
that's
you
all
can
I
still
do.
Marinate
Like
'em.
that's it. I cut them up, put them on the cooker.
And you don't season them or anything?
They get some soy sauce while I'm frying them.
So basically, that's what I like.
Can
I
we
take
go to hibachi together sometime?
not a chance.
Why
It's
not?
too expensive. I can't afford it.
It's called podcast money.
No,
It's a
yeah.
business
meeting.
Yeah, business meeting. But I don't.
As long as you don't
when
want
I
them to
say
pay.
marinate, I don't. It's not like marinating for an hour. Like I literally just take them out of the package, put them in a bowl with a whole bunch of bullshit, and then take that bowl and put it on the grill.
But then isn't that kind of a waste because it
Oh.
doesn't absorb much of the flavor?
Yeah, I thought you were like putting it in the fridge overnight or something.
no, I don't know. No, I don't do
Okay.
that. But yeah, so I don't know. I've just been thinking about cooking.
Is there any old recipes that you
Well, no.
carry from the
So
homeland?
Justine that chicken Justine, I think we talked about that before with the rice and the cream of chicken soup and all that stuff.
Well, you're pretty proud of that buffalo chicken dip you do sometimes.
I mean, that's kind of it. I think that ship's kind of sailed. I mean, everybody's kind of, it's just kind of like a drop in the bucket anymore. Nobody really gives a shit about
Is there-
chicken dip. But
To kind of put your question on the flip side, is there any restaurant or place that you've been where you would like to know the recipe for their X, Y, and Z.
Well, not necessarily a restaurant, but I did find. We got some new guys working at work now. Another Hollander. Both of them are actually from Holland, but the one from Holland is originally from St. Anthony. Dutchy as shit, real big hillbilly. I think he listens a little bit, Mr. Craig Atkins. Which, by the way,
Craig,
we're going to have him on the show one of these days because he's actually the Indiana representative field staff of the TFO organization. You ever heard of the TFO, the Fallen Outdoors? It's a huge nationally renowned outdoors organization that they basically take vets hunting and fishing. And
cool.
Get vets back out in the outdoors, and he's the field staff and Indiana rep. Well, I guess you'd say.
He's Indiana's dude.
Basically, there's one other guy that's in charge of Indiana. Like each state has a chair.
Yeah, because he served in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, for a long time. But anyway, he's got this. That sumbitch brings more food to work than I've ever seen in my life. Like worse than Beatles. I mean, he's got a 5-gallon bucket size lunchbox,
and he ain't very big.
No, he's a little guy. And that sumbitch has got 15 Tupperwares in it every day. Nice ones, like good Tupperware, and like
you been eyeing him?
Oh hell, I'm a big Ziploc bag guy. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I can only imagine.
Did you literally just bring macaroni and cheese in a Ziploc bag? Yeah, why not? You throw some of it away when you're done. Anyway,
you don't microwave it in the Ziploc.
No,
I always microwave my stuff in the Ziploc bag.
God, you're weird.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
what else are you gonna microwave it in? If you take
on
it in
your damn plate.
I don't take a plate.
See, there's your problem.
I just eat it out of the bag,
threshing
like the broccoli.
Threshing machine tomatoes is what this is called, and I had never heard of it before in my life. And he's looked at me like I had 5 heads. What do you mean? You ain't never had any? And he's real, like I said,
just from Birdseye.
Yeah, hilarious. No, he's from St. Anthony, not Birdseye. Anyway. He says, yeah, they're called threshing machine tomatoes, and it's literally just tomatoes, green peppers, and onions, and they make them in 2-gallon Lucky Buck buckets, and it's got like salt, vinegar, pepper, sugar, some other shit, and then they let them sit in the fridge for 2 days in this like mixture, and then you just eat it, and it is unbelievable how good they are. But it's just an old.
But why
it's
would
like
you call it a threshing machine?
That's what their recipe's called. That's what it's called. Like he sent me a picture.
But you don't. It doesn't go through any machine.
Listen to what I'm saying, Casey.
I'm listening to you, and I'm telling you, there's no machine involved.
Then you need to go talk to these people in St. Anthony and tell them they're morons for naming it.
I imagine it's probably named that because when you went out on the threshing machine, it was an all-day deal, and you had no way to keep food going. So I imagine they made it because it probably keeps pretty good in the weather.
Does,
even
for months.
That way they can just have it out there in the sun and still eat while they're on the threshing team. So is what my assumption would be.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good explanation.
So it's just
I'll accept that.
It's like people that make like pickles and like fridge pickles. You ever seen them? Like just old timey
like
food.
cucumber and onions,
something like that. Yeah, onions with an N, no G.
Now I had a similar recipe to that last year that I liked a lot. It was down at the river camp, and you took cherry tomatoes, and then you put them in a bag of vodka.
Oh,
and then you just carry that around.
That's disgusting.
I thought so too, but they are good.
Oh,
the vodka or the tomatoes?
Both.
I just eat tomatoes. I'm a big tomato guy.
Yeah,
so am I.
It's kind of like a little portable Bloody Mary bomb, just like.
Why do you think tomatoes that are grown like in a hot house,
it's unreal,
suck so bad versus something that you pick off the vine? I mean, I know obviously they're fresh, but
I think
the flavor profile is not even.
I think it's
close.
It's them being in the because. Like, we've got tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets because we didn't get the garden.
Your brothers look like shit, by the way. He needs to water those, or they're probably going to die. They look bad.
Well, they're down at the hospital because baby number 2 is coming here soon.
Good for them.
Yeah, something like that. But they, so the
something like that. Like you're not happy.
I mean,
you're not happy about your second nephew or what?
Well, he'd be the first nephew.
Oh, second, whatever.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I just, you know what it's like bringing a newborn into the world.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's just something like that. But because then they get into that 18-month where they don't sleep, and then it just. Anyways, I digress. What were we talking? Oh, the garden
tomatoes.
So I think what it is when you have the outdoor air and the things that it picks up is what makes it flavorful. Where in those greenhouses, you don't have, it's a stale air area unless you kind of open them up and let them run.
It's
Which
mostly genetics, according to the internet.
oh,
Backyard growers are interested in taste, not yield, or pest resistance. So garden stores stock seeds that are better, that are not as hardy as like a production tomato. So I guess like a hothouse tomato, you know, they just want it high yield and pest prevention.
so that's why it didn't have the flavor.
Genetics.
Yeah. Well, I think my explanation was going to be better.
Yeah. Well, probably
I was
wrong.
rooting for you.
Probably wrong, but better.
I don't know. But yeah, I got to get the garden this fall. It's going to get tilled up, marked
yeah.
up, a lot
Hell
of
yeah.
tomatoes, a lot of corn,
Yep.
green beans.
I haven't had much corn. I did get the corn that we got from the old neighbor.
Yeah.
Justin, that stuff that you guys, that bicolor stuff that they brought over, that was pretty good shit.
It's we haven't. Ryan loves it. He's a big sweet corn fan.
Oh God, yeah, my
He's a
kids
big
are
sweet
too,
corn fan.
big time. Anyway, that's all I got. What are you thinking about?
I was at Holiday World last week Friday.
Poor bastard. I seen all your snaps. Wow, did you just take the older two by yourself?
I would never take them two by myself.
Oh.
Janelle was there. She
Oh.
was out on the hunt for food, and I was watching kids. And
Oh.
Rhett stayed home. He was the only smart one. But Holiday World, the people watching,
Awesome. Awesome. I love it.
I mean, we've talked about like ultimate people watching destinations.
Holiday World gotta be up there.
Strip clubs, horse racing tracks, casinos, your local fairs and festivals, the courthouse. Like, there's a lot of great places, but Holiday World may take the cake on that because I had a hell of a day just people watching. And like we
Water
spent,
park people watching's better than dry park
well,
people
and that's
watching,
what
by the way.
and that's what there was many a times I told Janelle, and I said, I'm obviously not a thinny mini there where I got anything to show off down at Splash and Safari, but I'm a shirt off guy.
Oh yeah.
And I see so many guys that just big fellas with these sopping wet
Nasty.
mock neck shirts that
He's been roasting me about this T-shirt since I got here. Get off of it. Hides my gollywomper. I like it.
kind of pushes it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a push-up bra from my neck beard.
But anyway, I would tell her, I'm like, she's like, well, not everybody's coming. And I said, like, who are they trying? Do they think they're going to nab that
I
old
think it
hot
looks
piece?
better is the problem.
That was one of my biggest pet peeves. I went through a short stint of
Wearing the shirt?
Yeah, just a little short stint, and I think it's probably because my nipples used to like invert, and then like I got some bitch tits, like real. I don't know how old I was, probably middle school or whatever. When I
Those are treacherous years.
yeah,
Kids are mean.
well, yeah, and number one, I mean, I earned thick skin really quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then I don't remember at what point, probably when I started dating Justine and already had like a year under my belt, then I really stopped giving a shit. But it was rough. I mean, I went through a little bit of that shirt stuff, but like it was, yeah, like I don't get it. Like Max, thankfully, thank God, Max is not, he doesn't give a shit, but Max is getting pretty chunky. I've noticed that he's getting tall too, but he's also getting big, like I was. I think he's probably right on track, probably a little bit behind me. I was probably heavier than him at this age, but yeah, he doesn't give a shit, which I think is cool.
Well,
so
and it's
far.
and that's like a lot of it is like, whatever you're comfortable with. But like if you're wearing it to hide something, you're not hiding anything. Like it's not, you're not hide. Like we can see, like that's a very
Yeah.
form-fitting shirt you got
like
on.
whenever you pull it away from yourself, but then like the bottom doesn't come off, and then it's just like this big balloon, this big ass balloon that you're wearing. Like, hey, sir, your nipples are showing.
Yeah.
Like you can. Yeah,
But we started the day there in the park. Of course, we went the hottest day of the year, I think it was.
My.
And there's not enough free Pepsi in the world
Stormed
to make
that day,
trip.
too,
Oh
didn't
yeah,
it?
we
Yeah.
had a little bit of a rain delay.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little bit of a rain delay, but good weather overall. But we had a hell of a time. The kids enjoyed it because we do it for the kids. but that new ride they got, that Good Gravy,
Joke.
we did the. Don't let Zoe hear you say that. 'Cause
Oh,
she's
big
a big
fan?
fan. Oh,
Yeah.
huge fan.
Yeah.
So we had to ride Good Gravy, and the thing we dealt with all day in line was waiting and little bladders. And we got we were standing there next in line, and Zoe's doing the dance. And I was like, honey, if you got to go to the bathroom, sweetie, like, we can wait in line again. Like, we'll just go. Like, ain't no reason to, have an accident waiting to get on Good Gravy. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Well, they brought in a child that had the headphones on and could tell that probably on the spectrum and had some issues, and they were letting him in to ride.
He had it.
Yeah. Well, he had a full-blown meltdown. And poor Zoe's,
my God.
like, her eyeballs are floating. And finally, the kid decides he don't want to ride. They yank him out. They run through. We get on there. And then it becomes Dad's fault because he couldn't get his big-ass knees and legs shoved into this gravy bowl. And the lady out front, I told Janelle, I said, hey, I'm going to test this one because that looks pretty tight. And so I sit in there, and of course they got.
Do they have a thing out front?
Oh yeah,
to see if you can fit.
Well, yeah, because so many fat bastards get in there and can't get on it, and it holds up the line.
Luckily, they did that when they first came out with the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Thunderbird, yeah. When that first came out, they had that little thing out front there, and saves a guy a good 2 hours of waiting.
Yeah,
because I found out real quick that I wasn't cut out for that ride.
Well, and so I
feel like they got a camera there and they're just doing to be dick.
Well, and the
fat people trying to squeeze
and the high school
gravy.
The high school kid that was working was like, they'll just shove it into your knees, you'll be all right. And I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, you'll be okay. So we get back there, and sure enough, like, I thought I was in, like, it locked down, and the guy goes, seat 5, check seat 5, and I see 4 in front of me, and I was like, well, that's me.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy comes down, he's like, I was like, oh, yep, we're good. Let's ride.
Hey, Larry, can you grab that come along out of the utility closet back there? We got another fat bastard here. Boat 5. Boat 5.
Gravy boat 5. So, yeah.
Episode 3.
So we rode that sucker, and Zoe got out of there pretty quick. She had to pee, and then we had it later. It was Ryan's turn, so the park was winding down, and we were going to go watch the drone show.
Oh yeah,
which the drone show is impressive.
Cool. It's very cool. Yeah.
And so we had 8, and we were kind of walking around. The only thing I wanted to do was play skee ball. Like, that was the only thing.
It's up top by.
I know. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. And Janelle said, "Yeah, we'll get over there to play skee ball." Well, the kids wanted to ride a couple more rides.
Poor Janelle chasing 3 kids and just settle down, sweetie.
Hey, you'll get to play your skee ball, I promise.
Yeah. So we
calling all grill masters and barbecue aficionados. It's the 2nd annual Wondering Dutchmen Backyard Barbecue Contest on September 14th at the Holland Fest in Holland, Indiana. Gather your team, your secret rubs, marinades, and smoking techniques for a chance to win amazing prizes and bragging rights as the ultimate barbecue champion. Whether you're a seasoned pit master or a backyard novice, all skill levels are welcome. Check-in is Friday, September 13th at 9. Judging and awards will be on Saturday afternoon. Now, you can go to our website, wanderingdutchman.com, and find a link to get all the finer details and the rules, and then enter your team. Now, don't forget to come out early on Friday night. At 8 o'clock, our favorite band, Overboard, takes over the stage, and the Dutchmen are going to be hanging out, mingling with the folks in the crowd. We'll be in the beer garden. We'll be in the family picnic area that's attached to the beer garden. It's going to be a good time for everybody. Now, remember, there's only 15 teams, so don't wait. We hope to see you there.
Because there was an issue with the scrambler because another one of them had to pee, they didn't ride it, but I had went ahead as the advanced team, got pizza, sat down, was waiting for them. I was like, oh, that was the scrambler. Oh, we didn't ride it. So Zoe has to find one more ride, and then Ryan's got to find one more. So we go to the carousel. Great. No line. Perfect. Old boy was cleaning up puke. And I was like, oh, that's really what you need after eating a bunch of pizzas. Mm-hmm. That smell of puke. Mm-hmm. And so we got that done, and Janelle's like, oh, there's a few more minutes left. And the line for the bumper cars was out the door because Ryan thought bumper part. So we're like, let's do these Lewis and Clark cars or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Works out well. We get up there, and Ryan goes, hey, Dad, you need to pee, don't you? I'm like, no, bud, I'm good. He's like, oh, okay. couple minutes later, hey, Dad, I think Mom's got to pee. Like, I think you guys got to pee, right? Right? We need to go pee? No, buddy, we're waiting in line. We're good. And then I finally, like, it dawned on me. I go, buddy, you got to pee? And he's like, yeah, really bad. So he starts doing the dance. Well, he doesn't make it.
Uh-oh.
So there's, well.
Oh, pissy pants in the old time cars.
Janelle takes him. So they leave the line.
Great.
Well, they close the line down for the end of the day. So Zoe wants to drive. So she drives. It's scary. It's 6 years old. Hopefully she gets better in time in 10 years. But so we start pulling up and I see Janelle holding Ryan and he's just bawling. Not a happy camper.
Because he didn't get a drive.
Oh, yeah, because he was looking forward to it. And then we got to, of course. So we get pulled up there.
Piece of shit.
He's just, well, hold on here. Okay. The story ends like a Hallmark movie. So I asked old boy supervisor with the radio. I was like, hey, that's my son over there. They were waiting in line. He had to pee. Like, is there any chance he can take a lap around the track? Well, we're closing. I'm like, hey, just make his day. He was waiting in line. He had to pee. Well, let me check. And then so he gets on his real radio. I don't think he called anybody. I just think he wanted to just be like, I'm important.
Puff his badge.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul Blart, get it over. Let's get it going here.
So finally he's like, yeah, that's okay. And then so it's a blue one that was rolling up last.
Nice.
And that's Ryan's favorite color.
Oh, of course it is.
And it worked out.
Hell yeah.
We went and got some of that blue ice cream.
Yeah.
Which was
good.
What
a deal there.
Ryan had it everywhere. But the drone show's worth it. It's impressive. They have 400 drones. And Dave, I'm sure you could probably explain the science behind it.
It's pretty wild how they sync them up like that. We seen it last year. It's pretty crazy.
I don't need the DJ down there. He did a great job. But
yeah, I heard that. I've never been to that DJ thing, but I've seen some videos of it, and they
high energy guy, 7 days a week, which is crazy because the last time, so when I graduated law school, took the bar, I worked for a construction company that was out of Spencer County, and we were building that one water light ride over there that was on the back side of the voyage because the Thunderbird wasn't there yet. Well, they had taken that sumbitch out of there, like just gone. So that hillside was just all open, and that's where they do it all. Because I told Janelle, I was like, well, there's a water slide back there. Like, she's like, no, it's not there. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I built, like, I got pictures. Like, I'm part of the team that built it. She's like, no, it's been gone forever.
Which one?
I don't know. It was one. I forget what they called it, but it was a water slide back there on the hill. Because, like, we poured all the concrete and we did all that stuff going all the way around. But they had I think when they brought in the Thunderbird, they realized that's a pretty good trek for the water park from the other side of the voyage over there to ride that water ride. Probably didn't make sense logistically. But
yeah, I don't know. Was it the Oterongo?
No. It was the one where you shot down into that big bowl. You came around, they shot you up top the big bowl.
The Bakuli. It was like the big toilet. Might have been.
It's kind of, I don't know where, I don't remember what it was.
Doesn't matter. We got a couple guys in the lounge to help build the gravy boat.
Well, they should have built them cars a little bigger.
Well, they didn't do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have any Holiday World experience, Smoke, that you like to discuss?
I hate it.
I don't like going to Holiday World. I've gone a couple times.
So why do you hate it? Why do you guys hate it? Because Janelle absolutely loves it, and I don't understand.
Because I'm too fat to ride the stuff that I want to ride. The kids want me to ride things with them, and I can't because I'm too fat. And
I don't like roller coasters.
And it hurts my feelings.
You really don't like roller coasters?
Nope.
Why is that?
No control of the situation.
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
Well, I remember being a young fellow.
Hyena Falls.
That might have been it.
That roller coaster or water slide.
It might have been.
Hyena Falls. That's what some guy in the gallery just said. Hyena Falls. Never heard of it. If the warden was here, she'd be able to tell you.
Does she like Holiday World?
She worked there for 25 years. Yeah, they go all the time. They went yesterday.
They have passes? You guys buy passes?
Every year.
Janelle talked, I didn't realize, because we get a discount at the resort, and I didn't realize.
It's a huge savings.
Like, you go 3 or 4 times, you've saved.
Paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, a lot of times she'll go through the week at, like, random times. Like, they'll go from, like, 1 to 3.
That's what Janelle said.
Drive down for a couple hours.
Go to the water park.
Let the kids just do whatever the hell they want. She'll read a book and then set up a rendezvous point, and then they're done. They go home.
So you hate roller coasters because of no control?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I loved roller coasters. Matter of fact,
heights.
if I ever get my stomach cut, or lose monstrous amounts of weight. If I get on meth diet and lose a bunch of weight, that's the first thing I'm going to do is go ride a bunch of roller coasters. Love them.
We did.
Love them.
So I can like I fit on the gravy boat. The Thunderbird, if you sit in that back row, I think they have a little bit bigger, but it's like stuffing a sausage in there. Raven in those I can, but it's so uncomfortable. And those wooden roller coasters,
They beat the piss.
I
out
looked
of
at,
you.
I told Janelle, I was like, there's no way my back could tolerate that.
When the best spot to sit in one of them wooden coasters, by the way, very, very back car. Because it whips. Like when the front of the train goes over the peak,
Oh, yeah.
it's already halfway down the hill, and here comes that back like a damn bullwhip. Oh, man. It does beat the piss out of you worse in the back, but it was always fun back
Yeah.
then. Yeah. So, Smoke Dragon, what you got, bud?
Okay.
Yes.
Just say for giggles,
Been a while. Can't wait.
you're on a vacation
Okay.
on a beach,
Okay.
probably on another continent, but that doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're walking down the beach and you stub your toe on something and you pick it up and it's a lamp with a genie in it.
Ooh.
Now
Is
just
Christina
say-
Aguilera coming out?
Depends on your wish, I guess.
Ooh.
So that's the question. Like if you had one wish,
We don't get 3?
no, well, we normally would, but in the spirit of keeping things tidy and quick, we're just going to do one.
Okay.
So, what would your wish be?
Really?
Yeah.
I love the question because there's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah.
So I'm really intrigued to see how you answer, big fella.
I would wish for 10 more wishes.
Okay. Lame. It's probably not even legal with the particular genie.
Let's say that's not legal
Okay.
in the fine print.
I mean, there is so many things that a guy could wish for that you would,
That's why we're saying one wish. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be one.
yeah,
Just
wish for great big old cock like that French pole vaulter.
now, hold on.
See the hog on that feller? Huh? Did you see that thing I posted today?
All of the world.
Did you see Bob Menery's? Did you watch it? Oh, goddamn. That's a huge cock. It's hilarious. We'll watch it on the break. But now go ahead. Now, what were you were going to elaborate on this, on the pole vaulter situation?
Well, I was, for some reason, this made the list for maybe a potential topic someday. But
yeah.
what is it with just wishing for a big cock? Like, because you'll hear that
Yeah.
just in
Jen.
comments. So-
Yeah,
but
like-
you really break it down. If you're a married feller, like it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Like you're probably not going to go just like putting
Yeah.
it on display.
and you can only use like what, the front 4 or 5 inches of it anyway. You know what I mean? So that back foot or whatever the hell that guy's got, that some bitch just collecting dust.
I mean, you get to be a feller my size anyway. My heart's a little strained. I don't need to go passing out every time I
Get a
fucking
boner.
see Pretty cow
Like them
go by.
fainting goats.
Yeah.
Man, all day.
He got
Whoa,
excited.
whoa. Easy, big fella.
Yeah.
Sit down. Ma'am, would you mind walking the other way, please? One wish. I don't know. I hate, you know what I mean? Like, they say more money, more problems. You know what I mean? Like that. But I could probably, yeah, I would wish for like nothing too crazy. Maybe like $300 million.
You're such a selfish bastard.
300 million.
Your one wish and you want money. Ungrateful son of a bitch.
But you got to think there's parameters. Have you never seen Aladdin?
well, I mean, he didn't say that. He just said you get one wish.
You can't wish for
Love,
death, or more wishes.
love. You cannot wish for love, immortality, or more wishes.
I don't
Okay.
think you could kill somebody either.
Yeah,
You're cutting off something.
Yeah, death on someone else.
Well, you
yeah.
just get the voodoo doll for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I feel like if a guy had, if a guy had enough funds that he could pretty much pave the way for his children, to go to college, buy his mama a new car, spend the rest of his money on PCP, or just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want. But I think yeah, I think it would probably be more of like a financial stability thing. Like if a guy had one wish, you know what I mean? Like it's only one, you know what I mean? I could make it work.
You know what my wish would be?
What is it?
Cure cancer.
Yeah.
Because you'd go down in history as. See, I don't need. I mean, yeah, $300 million would be great. More money would be great. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're living high on the hog. But you could cure cancer. Like, you would be more famous than anybody in history.
Yeah, would you want that though?
To help people, yes. The notoriety. I mean, I guess selfishly, I called you selfish for $300 million, but I guess that wouldn't be my intention to have that
I'd
notoriety.
say if you cured cancer, 300 million wouldn't be a drop in the bucket to you. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Well, but that's
Not to mention, you'd probably be like offed by somebody before you actually.
Oh,
came
big
out.
pharma.
Yeah, big pharma.
Big pharma would get
They'd
me.
come and get
They
you.
get in cahoots with Big Camo, so you couldn't see them coming.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right.
Shout out bigcamo.com.
Yeah, it is.
Flashback to the early. But, you know, like outside of something like along the lines you're talking about. Man.
Maybe let's try to wish for something not as sentimental and like real. Like
Oh, we want to live in
just
fairy tale
some,
land.
some sort of novelty wish, please.
I think I think I would wish to be about a +3 handicap golfer, but that wouldn't. I mean, I'm happy being what I am, anyways, as a golfer at 2 there. But I would say a house
At 2, what do you mean?
in that swamp. What do you mean?
You said I would be happy to be a golfer at 2.
No, I said like a +3 handicap.
Uh-huh.
But I said I'm happy as a golfer at 2 anyway. Like
At
what I'm
2.
at anyway. Not like 2, but like
Okay, I was gonna say
I'm happy as how
You're
I am
not
as a
like
golfer
as well
anyways.
as.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Um,
Clearing that up. There.
but I think I would go down to that swamp
Mm-hmm.
down there, and I'd have a nice place on the beach.
Well, there's where that 300 million comes in. Because we could get one down there for.
We could buy an island with that 300 million.
We could probably just take maybe. I'd say we could get a really really badass one for about 2
buy like a block.
2 or 3, and get. I wouldn't want that.
Well, then we could all have a house.
Property tax would be through the nose.
Well, they're going to be anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So that would be part of it.
Yeah.
What about you? What's yours?
Well, I've been thinking about it today since I made this my question. I didn't want to like get here and not have a question
Yeah.
or an answer rather. So I think what I'd do, because we're in a land and a place where I can make wishes. And
We're in
with the
fantasy
genie,
land. Yeah, we're not solving real world problems.
believe I would probably wish for like 2 to 3 generations in my past to start something like to be like a big like, you know, there's families, you know, that, oh, he's one, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, they kind of did.
but global.
You like the Vanderbilt. You want to be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Standard
yeah.
Oil Company.
yeah, so somebody back that many generations ago to start, get all the wealth there.
Like Grandma Viv's dad or Grandma Viv's grandpa.
Yeah, started a steel mill in Pittsburgh. And,
what about
Well,
the
a lot of them are
Smuckers?
shut down by now.
well, now see, that's the problem. They all offshot. I'm not really kin to them. I don't get to.
you don't get that
benefit.
awful.
You don't get the royalties off the jellies.
Yeah, but I feel like if I could know I could get to here, except be like, you know, from generational wealth, and then that would continue.
Yeah. So you're talking like Anderson Cooper. I'm the grandson of Cornelius Vanderbilt kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yeah, because we get $3 million or $300 million, we're going to live like crazy. The kids will be okay, but it'll be pissed away and not turned into anything. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about that. My
you're not going to make generational wealth off $300 million. Not if you're buying anything fancy.
But if you even take 100 million and you get a 10% compounding return year over year,
I mean, well,
On
I'm
average.
talking like top listers up there, not like a. I'm talking bigger, like a.
like you got to make 300 million a year every year.
yeah.
For that to become like a generational wealth type thing, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you think that?
well, but what's 10% of $100 million?
A bigger number than I'm willing to
$10 million.
talk about.
Okay, so you're talking about $10 million for 30 years gets you back to your 300 million. So you've replaced what you've done in your lifetime with just $100 million. But that's not even taking into effect the compounding part of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you look at some of these guys that are smart with their money that are professional athletes, like the Peyton Mannings of the world. I bet if you look up what his career earnings are, but I would say that Peyton's kids, Peyton's grandkids.
Yeah.
But they're
Great
never
grand-
going to own like old money. There's somebody that owns a sizable chunk of every state, I'm sure. Maybe not by now.
Well, Ted Turner. Ted
Yeah.
Turner is like one of the largest private landowners in the United States.
Yeah, and what you're talking about though, passing down $300 million before compounding interest, by the time you split it up to 3 kids and everything, and then they take it and do their thing, like they're not
Yeah.
buying half of North Dakota.
No.
That's the kind of like stranglehold I'd wish for there.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the one.
I'd also like be a scratch golfer. That'd be a wish if we were more down to earth on that. To be able to solve complex math problems without having to write them out or use a calculator. That'd be a cool party trick. Make a couple bucks here and there.
To be able to put on my left sock as easy as I can with my right sock.
Do you really have issues with one sock over the other?
100%.
Because your hips are tight.
And that was because my left leg's
Oh, well, that
Shot.
too.
Sounds like you should stretch more.
Why don't you come over and stretch me, Big Daddy?
Uh,
Okay.
I don't know.
What else we
Hey,
got?
you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time for the Merkley and Sons Choice Cut Questions of the Week for the fellas. Brought to you by Merkley and Sons.
You've heard us mention it before, but Merkley & Sons is the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. You want to know why? Well, it's simple, really. They have about damn near any meat product you could ever need. We talk about their burgers, franks, and snap dogs a lot, but the fellas carry only the best cuts of beef and pork for all your grilling and smoking needs. If there was a meat destination hall of fame, these guys are definitely in it. Head over and see them today and get what you need for your fridge or freezer.
All right, fellas. So we didn't mention it, but this when you're in real time, school started on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. In future time, school has already been going on for a week. So I thought about finding some choice cut questions based on back to school.
Back to school.
To prove to Dad I'm not a fool. Name that movie.
Billy Madison.
Attaboy. He's on top of it. What's the one school subject you wish you had paid more attention to?
U.S. history.
Spanish.
I would second that.
Oh, shit.
If you could go back in time, which school lunch would you never eat again?
Chili soup with that stupid ass peanut butter sandwich.
Yep.
No way.
I feel like the burgers are always garbage.
Yeah, I'll agree.
The chili was a little bit watery, and then that peanut butter, that's the worst peanut butter in the history of peanut butters.
Yeah.
What was your most creative excuse for not doing your homework?
I don't know. Because I didn't have time to copy off my girlfriend before class.
I don't remember ever lying about homework. I said, yeah, I didn't do that. Like I just was pretty.
I'm going to sound like a complete square. We did homework no matter what. What school event did you look forward to most? I.e. like field trips, school dances, sporting events.
What?
Which school event did you look forward to most? I.e. field trips, school dances, sporting events, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know. We used to have this thing in middle school called the snowball dance or snowflake or snowball or whatever, wasn't it? It was like the all-night thing. We spent the night in the school.
Yeah.
And
Didn't like Heritage Hills come up?
Run the hallways and do all kinds of kooky shit. That was always fun.
That's 8th graders, right?
Probably, yeah. That and I don't know. Post prom was fun, but I don't know. Yeah.
Graduation. But not the actual event, but just being done with school, never having to go back to that place.
Yeah. I don't remember field trips being that great. Do you?
Washington, D.C. trip was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was something to look forward to.
That was, yeah.
We went to Detroit with the machine shop class, and on the way back from Detroit, we wrote a "Show Us Your Boobs" on a notebook.
Yeah.
And on the bus ride home, we got all these gals showing us their boobs.
We
because
seen-
it was back when America was free.
We had
Until
that.
the bus driver.
America was free.
But then
We
bus
told
driver-
that story. I told
yeah.
that story here. I've seen bus tits before.
Yeah, that was
Nice ones too.
worthwhile.
All right, here's one. Did you ever have a secret crush on a teacher?
Oh. I don't know if crush is the right word for it, but guilty as charged.
I don't think so.
There may or may never mind. I was going to say there may or
She
may
had
not.
this spot outside of her bedroom window. You could stand by the tree, and even when the lights were on, she couldn't see.
I didn't mind going through her trash because trash day was on Tuesday, and the guy was there at 4 a.m., 4:30 to get it.
Oh.
Dave, are you a yay or nay?
Oh, I said nay. I don't remember ever having one.
Looking back, which class do you wish you could take again just for funsies?
Speech with Mr. Keith Yonker. I would have done that again. That was a fun ass class. Doing like those demonstration speeches, and he was just a super good dude. Super cool teacher.
I think it'd have been. I wish I'd have paid attention in chemistry more. Like I just didn't care to be there, but I wish I would have. I feel like that'd have been
Is that right?
cool to know.
Gonna whip up a batch in the old kettle back here later, huh? Little meth kettle, little Pike County chemistry there.
All right, Breaking Bad.
I was going to say, what's his name?
Eisenberg,
No,
But as a teacher-
Jesse White. No, it's
Walter
not.
White,
Walter White.
Walter White.
Not Jesse. Yeah, I would probably. I'd go back and take A&P with Dave Shank
There you go.
because we dissected cats, and it was fun because we had a male cat, and I did launch a cat testicle at another peer of mine, and he laughed and just said, "Hey, you can't do that."
Yeah.
So it was good. That was enjoyable.
cat balls.
Yeah. What's the fun? Last one here. What's the funniest thing you remember happening during a class?
Oh God.
We were a part of. I've got a couple, but you and I were part of one.
Yeah. Funniest shit that's ever happened in a class. I about choked to death on a Jolly Rancher one time in Mr. Osborne or Mr. Oxley's class. Another one was Mr. Tom Osborne, if you're listening, I swear to God, I'm so sorry, but I was a total and utter piece of shit when I was in high school. So I just want to preface that by saying that. But
He is a fan of the show.
I jammed a lunch straw in the exhaust fan on the projector one time and about caught the motherfucker on fire. That one was really bad. He went to pull his transparency off of the projector and the was glued, melted to the screen. That one was real bad. I think that me and my late friend Jose Calderon are probably the reason for several deaths in the fish tank and Mr. Mickles' class
gosh.
as a young lad. But I think one of the best ones was probably, and we were in biology class, Bio 2, with Mr. Dave Shank as well. And there was this one particular classmate of mine that was very, very intelligent, went on to be the valedictorian, and she was an absolute whiz. I mean, she was just a great student, real smart, but she was very confident in her knowledge. And one of the guys, one of my really good friends, still to this day, we're pretty good buddies, but she was talking and all this stuff about, the topic, at class, during class, was open for him, and stuff like that. And I will not say her name to protect her identity, but he said, "Shut up, blank. You're making me horny," like that. And the whole class was like, "What the did you just say?" And then it all erupted in laughter. And then he got kicked out of class. But then and Shank was always one of those guys, like, you remember the story where I told him about the substitute teacher? Me and Schwing were being total heads, and she wrote our names down.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What are your names?" And I said Jimmy Neutron, and he said his was Jonathan Bravo. And the next day Shank comes back and he's like, all right, who the hell is this? Who did this? And Schwing and I did. We go out in the hallway, okay. So we go out there and he's like, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. That woman's dumbass literally thought you guys' names were Johnny Bravo and Jimmy Neutron. And we were like, yeah, she took the bait, But I don't know. Well, we were just shitheads. What do you got? You got anything funny? Probably nothing that jumps out.
Nope, I can't. I know there was funny stuff. I remember laughing in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
A
nothing
good,
in
a
particular.
good fart every now and then, that would get things laughing. What do you got? You got
So-
anything good?
We took art class together.
Oh, you draw my clown.
Well,
We talked about that before, didn't we?
Well, we had another time where a certain individual, who we shall rename nameless, but we'll talk about it after the break, was having a bad day,
Uh-huh.
and he was getting tense because he was going at it with the art teacher because she wouldn't let him use a pass to go to the restroom, and they were going back and forth.
Okay.
And so he got angry, and he was known to probably be on some substances at times, and so he got angry and pissed, and he reached into his bag, and big fella over there yells, "He's got a gun!"
I
To
don't
which
remember that.
everybody hits the deck.
I don't remember that.
And her back was to us. The art teacher's back to us. And she's like, what's everybody doing on the ground? And this son of a bitch pulls out his agenda book because she finally allowed him to use a pass to go take a piss. And we all died laughing. He's got a gun and she didn't have a clue. And we all hit the deck. Another one, Timmy Moeller and yourself, we had geometry together as freshmen, and you guys were late to class one day. God rest his soul, Gary Longy. And Tim Moeller rolled into class late, like he was sneaking in, like he was like a ninja. And Mr. Longy said you could roll right back out. We died laughing. It was pretty good.
One time, like the last 30 seconds, like you get the final bell before class actually. Do you
Yeah.
guys do that? So you getting there. Well, the machine shop was right on the main hallway. So like the most traveled corridor there, and it was always super busy at that point. And I remember one time I waited for that bell to ring, and I had like a fleece pullover on. It was wintertime,
Yeah.
So I ran, dove on the floor to slide out because I was just going to trip everybody and thought it'd be the funniest thing ever. But I got the school resource officer and the principal and knocked them over. And that got lots of
God. How did I
But-
forget? We could sit here and do this shit for hours.
That's okay. It's what people want.
We were in strength and conditioning end of the day, and a friend of mine, Chris Ruppel,
Yeah.
and I were, playing grab ass, jackassing around and stuff. And I was going, he was going to go in the locker room. I was like, dude, I'm done with it. I'm going to beat your ass. He's like, well, meet me in the locker room then, you fat whatever. Of course, we were buddies, but
Yeah.
how that banter works. And I'm going into the locker room, and Mr. Bardwell, our teacher at the time, Brett Bardwell, is like, what's going on? What's happening? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, no, I heard what he said. And I said, well, then that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm behind Bardwell as we're walking into the locker room, and like, you remember the locker rooms by the weight room stairs where you have to go in and then jog over. So instead of a door, they just you had to go through
kind of like a bathroom works.
Yeah, could go through the S where you can't
So
see
you can't
in.
peek in there.
Exactly. Well, little did we know that Ruppel was hiding behind one of the walls with a shoe, and he had the shoe gripped by the heel of the shoe, and was going to then hit me in the testicles, square in the bag and the penis with this shoe. And little did he know that Mr. Bardwell walked through first, and he wore one right in the cock. And doubled
one, right?
Yeah, he got one right in the old bag there, and doubled him over like a shotgun. And the only thing he could muster was, both of you go to my office now, because he was also the athletic director at the time too. So Yeah, poor Bardwell thought he was going to go in and bust up a fight, but turns out he got bag tagged by a shoe. Just completely helpless and defenseless. Just wore one right in the old sack there. Yeah, so that one was probably. I don't know. Those things just kind of slip your mind. You know, like I don't know why.
A little bit, and then as they kind of come back,
yeah, they're like those are good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, we had. So we were in Spanish with Miss Ballbach, and I didn't like her very much because the lady we had Spanish 2 for, they fired her for not fired her, but they let her go, saying the position wasn't needed.
Uh-huh.
They're going to bring somebody in part time. So then they brought her in, and a little bit of a rebel rouser in class because I just didn't appreciate what they did to Miss Clark. And she made me come to the front of the room and sit there. And she's like, I'm not kicking you out of class, but you're going to come up here and sit up front. Well, she dropped something, and she like booty dropped to go pick it up, and I wasn't paying attention. I was like, hey, could you do that again? And like everybody saw her booty drop but me. And she like froze. Like, what? And I was like, what are you talking about? And like look over, and she's like bending something over like after like booty drop. And I was like, oh, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about something previously.
Oh,
But
shit.
she gave me a morning detention one time.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to wait around after school, but you be here at, what did we start back then? Like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
She's like, you be here at 7:45. You're going to have a morning detention.
Oh.
Like, ooh,
Easy.
talk
Killer.
dirty to me.
I had lots of detentions. I was kind of a shithead, if you could believe that.
No, you've grown up to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not 13-time employee of the month for no reason now.
How many Saturday schools have you ever had?
I don't think any. I mean, we did that, but I don't remember ever.
It would have not been tolerated in the Lindemann household.
I had a few. Yeah.
Yeah, 0. High school was a good time overall.
High school was fun.
I hated it.
There's some other.
I had a lot more fun in high school than I did in middle school.
Well, middle school I think is where you cut your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough spot.
Speaking of middle school, I got 2 middle schoolers in my house now.
Yeah, we can talk about it on Friday.
Which is pretty wild.
Yeah, we can discuss it on Friday.
Anyway, let's go.
Hey, here we go. We've talked longer than what we probably should have, but it's been
perfect.
a great Wondering Wednesday.
Happens, baby.
Hey, shit happens when you party naked.
Party naked.
Anyways, it's time for some
For
final
those
thoughts.
listening, we are fully clothed.
Yeah, that's true. Well, except for Dave, he's got these pipes out over here. Neighbor Doug doesn't have pants on, but
His pipe is not out.
anyways,
Carry
it's time for one more trip around the table to get some final thoughts. And those final thoughts are brought to you by our buddy Todd Hayes and Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair.
Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair of Huntingburg with our buddy Todd Hayes is a proud sponsor of the Wondering Dutchmen, and we are glad to have him on board. As we get to the end of the heat and you still have AC issues, give Todd a call. Winter is right around the corner. When was the last time your furnace was inspected for the winter? If you don't know the answer to that, then you probably should give Todd a call. If you're looking for someone for your home remodel or new construction HVAC needs, we've got the guy. Give Todd a call today at 812-683-2570 and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
All right, big fella, what we got?
As I alluded to earlier in the show with my ice cold opener, that this week has been an absolute shit week so far. Not necessarily directly for me, but for
The community.
the community. Our community was rocked with an absolute tragic loss of a beautiful young woman, young mother, former police officer, military veteran. And it's one of those that just it's an earth shatterer for a lot of people. And it's like you drop a rock in the water and you see the ripples, you know what I mean? And I feel like the ripples are going a long way. And I knew her husband very well. I graduated high school with her sister. Just very good friends all the way around. Great people, and it just makes my heart hurt to think about it. And I think that might be why I've kind of been in a little bit of a funk. Trying to find the good in things is tough when you're going through stuff like this, but you just got to keep trudging. You got to just keep on keeping on, because that little girl is going to need all the support in the world, as she gets growing up and stuff like that, and it just makes you
makes you sad to think about. But I don't want to be all Debbie Downer, but I just wanted to say that we're thinking of that family. The Dutchmen are. If there's anything that we can do, to ease the pain or help out with things or whatever, we just give us a call and we'll try our best. But other than that, peace, love, and positivity. Keep your stick on the ice and keep on keeping on. We'll catch you Friday.
Smoke Dragon.
Mine feels a little inappropriate now.
No.
Yeah, rock it, buddy.
Go ahead. That's why it's called
Mine's
final.
more of a bitch than it is a statement.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe life advice.
Okay.
If you're in a public restroom,
Uh-oh.
you got to courtesy flush. I had some real hard times with it this week. There's been multiple times I'd walk into a small room, it would gag a maggot, and you don't know it until you get too far in to go back. And there's just no call for that in today's society. So, courtesy flush.
Makes sense.
Good one.
Appreciate that. Big thank you again, Southern Indiana Hardwoods, our title sponsor. Good sale going on for those Green Mountain grills. Of course, our buddy Mark Seibert and Celebration Ice. We appreciate them. Obviously, the pause we talked about Overboard and our buddy Alan and Derek, September 13th, 8 to midnight at Holland Fest. Our buddy Smoke Dragon's been picking and grinning, working on a few things. See how it comes out of that. Obviously, of course, Merkley and Sons for their continued support there of the choice cut questions. And, of course, Todd Hayes with Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair. We thank them. They bring you this fine show on a lovely Wednesday. Just a reminder there, when you listen to this, there is still time to get over there for the St. Anthony Fire Department's, well, I guess it's Fireman's Fest, backyard barbecue competition.
That's right.
Being put on over there. The contest is August 17th. They've got different categories than what ours is, but they've got 4 categories: chili, chicken, ribs, and pulled pork. Prizes for the top 3 of each category, as well as top 3 positions overall. There is a People's Choice category where people can choose their favorite. They're doing samples, so you can buy a wristband and do some taste. They also have some different dishes and samples from 11 to 2, and they're accepting teams up until August 15th. And I think that's about, that'll be a week from, that'll be the next day, because this will air on the 14th, I believe. So the 15th, the last day to get teams. And I think he said last 9-10 teams. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So you got nothing going on the 17th. Go up there and see them. If you got a team that you're interested, maybe it's a good chance to rehearse for September for the granddaddy of them all.
That is right.
My final thought is this. It has been an interesting week with the kids back to school. We had our first set of stitches in the Lindemann household.
Oh, my.
Old Rhino took I don't know, they were playing, and he took a fall off an elevated surface, caught the corner of a table. He's got 4 stitches above the left eye.
That baby.
So that's always good. You send your eldest off to first grade. But like Big Mace alluded to, nothing brings you back or grounds you in reality that you do not spend enough time with your family and your loved ones, because we're probably chasing other things that we think we need to. But good reminder there. Hug the ones you love. Spend the time there. Make that trip to Holiday World even though you hate that place. One big more edit out of there to see if Smoke catches it when it comes to next week. Hey, we're out. We're going to see you on the Friday Variety Show. Dutchman out.